Hi YouTube, I'm Leah Lauder and I'm live. I have been crying because I'm on TikTok live and I've just been feeling really overwhelmed by the love and the support and the kindness of the collective. Since I've started this, I'm feeling really loved and just like it's taken me a lot to build myself back up and try and, reestablish my identity, my life. And I just really feel lucky. God, guys, I've got no tissue. I feel really lucky to be a part of this collective. All right. Sorry, guys. It's just because I got a message come through and I was feeling really emotional. I'm going to come on blowing my nose. Hey, Instagram. It's Leah Lauder and I'm live on TikTok and I'm live on... I'm live on YouTube. I've just been having a little cry because I'm feeling happy tears. Yeah, happy tears. I'm feeling really grateful to be part of this collective and to advocate on behalf of y'all. Guys, do you know what? Yeah, I've got to get some tissue. Do you know what? Because I can't, the setup is so ghetto. Oh, hey, Queen Innes. Oh my gosh, I just had a full on. It's just everyone's so lovely, honestly. Like, everyone's so lovely in the collective. Hey, Insta, welcome. The most loveliest people have just been ABUSED'd in this environment. And I want you lot to know the collective has become like family to me. Yeah. And the kind of person I am, I ride out for the people I care and I love about. I love, yeah. And the only thing that's keeping me going right now is my kids, my family, and the collective. And I want always, yeah, it's always the chosen ones that they break down. And because they're so EVIL in there, yeah, that's why they do what they do. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they're not hearing from God. I appreciate you. Look at that message, the voice note you sent me this morning. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And I will have a phone call with you and speak to you a bit later. I'm so overwhelmed. Guys, at the core of this, we are good people. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we are good people and we did not deserve what we went through in these spaces. Do you understand what I'm saying? And now we have to rebuild our life, keep deconstructing. Hi, Brown. Is that Brown? Brown, I'll call you. Basically, Brown, sorry, I'll explain. I'm a mega church cult survivor and I spent 18 years in what I thought was a church. This is me on the left. YouTube, you won't be able to see it. It's the picture of me in my flower dress. They are, King Joker. Thank you, King. I gave everything. My boyfriend had just been unalived in police custody. I'm a survivor of CCE, that's child criminal exploitation. So I was gang affiliated and used to go out with gang leaders and GMs. So when I came into the church cult, I was extremely vulnerable. I had lost my mind. I was very young. I was 18 at the time. And they just groomed me and they indoctrinated me. And I sing. So they used my voice. Thank you for the follow. I'm so tired, but I'm just going to do it. Why should I feel discouraged? Why should the shadows come? And why should my heart feel lonely and long for heaven and home when Jesus is my portion? So I can sing. I'm not one of those people who say they can sing. A lot of people say they can sing. I was on the X Factor in 2007. Got into up to the final 5 in a girl band called Hope. A year later, Little Mix came out. We were the pilot group before. Yeah, I have been. I'll explain that. And basically they told me that singing in the world was evil and from the devil, so I couldn't sing in the world and sing in the church. And when I came out, thanks Queen Innes, and when I came out, by that time, they were indoctrinating me and getting access to me more because I did the tour. And then after I did the tour, we had like a manager. So long story short, they indoctrinated me. I gave up my dream. I gave up being in the band. I gave up all the opportunities. Welcome YouTube. And they had their claws in me. And from then, I was just singing in a backdoor church cult. And from then, I just got into it because I was unemployed in it. Because obviously, the X Factor thing that I was doing up, I was getting paid. I was making a lot of money. I left it because I saw it as a sacrifice to Jesus. So I'm unemployed now, living in the cult. It was just a mess. They took me out of my temporary accommodation, a mental health hospital I was in at the time, and moved me to live in with an illegal immigrant that was staying in the country and had no papers. And the house was in just as worse condition as the hostel I was in. So it didn't even make sense. I'm from West. I'm from Grove. So what's what? I don't understand. Write it out, babe. So I left getting a council property in West London in Ladbroke Grove. That's the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea, chair. So I gave up my inheritance of getting a council flat. Everybody who's from the ends, that's the only thing we get is a little council home. So I left that after being raised, in the hood. That's the only thing you're getting. They moved me into some little, and do you know what the worst part about it was, guys? The place where they moved me, sorry, YouTube, I'm just wiping this. The place where they moved me was in White City. And that was the ends that my boyfriend who unalived lived. That was his bits. So everything, it was like the trauma. I don't even know how I did it. It was because I was just so obsessed with the pastor. I thought he was like God at the time. So I was just listening to what he was saying. I don't even know how I did it, guys. And this just shows like they just have a lack of understanding around trauma and how to support people. Can we like up the live, guys? Because I'm like the Jaguar of exposing church cults, and the pastors are like Diddy's because they are assaying and raping the women in there and abusing their vulnerable, abusing their trusted positions. So if you could like up the live, they all come on and REPORT the live. So if you're on here, even if you don't really know what's going on, please like the live because they try and get it locked off. That's why I have to be on YouTube and Instagram. Right now, I have 2 phones in front of me and a laptop chair. That's what I'm doing up. That's what I'm doing up. Because when they'll come in on droves. The pastors will be telling them, in my cult, they've literally got someone allegedly who comes on just to REPORT my live. Yeah. The cults, the church cults that I am exposing, I'm not just exposing my church cult. I form part of a collective of survivors who come and tell me their experiences and I expose it. So there's like Caris, there's UCKG, there's Potter's House is another one, there's RPF, NGRM, there's a lot. So a lot of them come in. Hey Spice, ooh, Spice, you know what? We really do need to catch up. Nanai, we really do need to catch up, girl. Because the NGRM exposure is starting this week. And it's just crazy. How, babe, you know what's happening? People have been leaving NGRM, yeah, like from last year to this year, right? There's been like a drove of people leaving, right? Why am I getting young girls that were teen mums coming and telling me that they were raped before coming in the church cult, took the perpetrator to court, won the case, and then is in NGRM, and Cece and Onyeka are setting her up with a high-ranking guy after 2 months of being in the church cult. And then when she started clocking it and her mental health was exasperating, they were coercing and manipulating the guy that she was seeing, her fiance, to give money to heal her mental health. Do you know where Dag's parents are from? Who got? Yes, I do. His mum is from Switzerland and his dad is from Ghana. He's half Swiss and half Ghanaian. The reason I know that is because we have a regurgitated script that we need to say about the cult leader. So yeah, he's half Swiss. Yeah, and then they did an at-home deliverance. Was saying to the guy that he needed to sow £300 to basically, seal the deliverance or whatever it was that he's saying. I've got all of the points written down. And this girl has a son, a child. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like the guy was almost like playing daddy as well, like they're playing, blend happy families. And then as soon as she started clocking it was a cult, and then doing up, moving away and speaking out, that's when they said, you lot have to done it out, and they excommunicated her. I don't know if he can speak French. I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. No, he can't, because he has translators when he goes to French speaking countries. That's how much I know about my cult leader, Chair. I came across Cece's live and she's out here cursing people who are lying about them. Oh, is it? You should next time record it, bro, because I didn't get that bit. She could do what she wants, Chair. I was on the live as well. I was just returning it to send her while she was live. You know, because you can like get into people's energy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like through, because technology is just another dimension. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's why if I've got low energy or whatever, I wear my glasses. You get me? Like I protect myself outside in these spiritual streets, but they don't have a clue. They're just doing jabaya satakaya, but that don't do nothing. That's a mind altered practice, Chair. Do you know what I'm saying? And majority of the people in there, they don't even believe that they're talking in tongues. Listen, more time when you're talking in tongues, yeah, because your mind is just in a mind altered, numb state, yeah. All you're thinking is like, is what I'm saying true? Is that, and you gotta like, it's like a mental thing. You gotta, oh, thanks for the follow, babe. It's like a mental thing. You gotta stop your mind from thinking like that. And the way they do it, guys, you see, like the spiritual practices that they have in the mega church cults, yeah, they're not even spiritual practices, Chair. They're like rituals and doing. It's about doing, because faith plus works equals salvation. Hey, Chunky. Faith plus works equals salvation. Like that's what they do up in these mega church cults, right? But what I want to say is my cult leader was absolutely obsessed with Catholicism, like the Catholic faith. Now, I know that most of these Pentecostal, yes, he does. I know that these Pentecostal churches, you know, kind of, they reject that it's from Catholicism and this and that, but they use the canon Bible. They do up the communion. That's like that comes from like the Roman pagan rituals that they had, that they were doing up there. Do you know what I mean? Because there was a lot of like goddess, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm not trying to, do you know what I mean? Like demonize anything. I'm just saying like we do need to know where the roots have come from. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's just so factual. Yeah, that's my Instagram as well, BTW. Guys, I've just jumped from one thing to another. But one of the church cults that I'm exposing at the moment is a church cult called NGRM. And it's led and started by false prophetess Cece and Onya Kapawa. There is a quite an age gap between the two of them. One, the woman Cece is 48 and Onyeka is 29. So there's quite concerning behavior. Can you expose the COE? Is that Church of England? And someone else has said, because guys, you know I'm on YouTube as well and Insta. On YouTube, someone has asked, is Lighthouse Chapel a part of First Love? All right, because guys, you know I can't resist the question about my culture. Lighthouse is the reason for the season, yeah. Lighthouse is the reason for the season. All right. So when Dag Heward Mills started the church cult in 1986, it started in a cafeteria in whilst he was studying medical school in Korlebu, okay, in Ghana. So when he, and I just want to say he stole it. There was some society or something, if you read his book, and then he makes himself the leader, like Dag he's something else, Chair. Anyway, so it started off as Lighthouse Chapel International in Ghana. Then he started sending missionaries to other parts of the world. Hey, Charisma, to other parts of the world. And I'm gonna focus on the UK and Europe because this church cult is worldwide. He's got 6,000 branches in Africa alone. All right. And he's got thousands in the UK and Europe. Look at me rubbing my head, Chair. So even the pastors in there, and Dag himself doesn't know what's going on. Do you know what I mean? It's just the MESS, Chair. Like up the live, guys. Like up the live. Like up the live. So he started sending missionaries out like Bishop Richard to start the hey girl, the UK branches. So long story short now, we were Lighthouse Chapel International until about 2000 and I want to say maybe 13, 12, let's say 2012/10. Yeah. 47 years of existence. My goodness. I know. So, long story short, one day, we all had to come to church and watch this announcement from Dag. Yeah, Dag gets on the does a live broadcast, and Dag is the cult leader, and he just announced, basically, from today we don't go by Lighthouse Chapel International, we're going by United Denominations of Lighthouse Group of Churches. And then he just done like a whole reshuffle. I don't know how to, yeah, like reshuffle of the whole system and structure of the cult. And then the way they sell it to you is like things are always changing, like when the Holy Spirit is present, there's always changes, blah blah blah. So then he like broke up all of the churches, yeah, like around the world, and he gave them like different names. So Mustard Seed Chapel International, that was like, there was no First Love at this point. I think First Love came into it about 2010. So maybe it was like 2010ish then. I can't remember the timeline, but all I know is this man told us, from today our name is changed. UDOGLC. The church is growing at an exponential rate. It's growing really fast. So to help us understand, like, like just maintain things, like keep things more organized, we need to like have these different names. So he done up like Loyalty Houses, all the churches in the Caribbean, and then Mustard Seed Chapel International, all the churches in UK and Europe. And then I remember like Kadesh, I think it was Kadesh Family or something, that was like Ghana. So do you get it? There's different names. Like now they've changed it again. It's just, I think we go by Christ Cathedral now, under Mustard Seed, but Christ Cathedral. So they changed up the name so many times. Every time they start getting a bad rep, or people leave, or they just start doing up these things. So I think he would have changed the name First Love by now if I weren't exposing it. But it doesn't matter what he does. He can't run and hide, because I'm going to be exposing it for the rest of my life. So every time he changes the name, I'll just come on and expose that he's changed. It's no big deal for me. I'm disabled. Do you know what I mean? This whole week, I haven't been able to really move too tough. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been so unwell. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, fighting for my life as per usual. So, yeah, I'm just here. And ready to expose, chair. So does that make sense, my love? Now I don't know what's going on. But what I foresee happening is, I do think that Dag's going to try and like phase himself out. Like, so he's not so, do you get what I'm saying? Because he's already started doing that, to be honest. So it's not a prophecy. It's just looking at the patterns and thinking about the culture, and you know what I'm saying? Does that answer your question, my love? Guys, do you want to ask me questions today? Guys, this is going to be a short one. I went to one service at Lighthouse. Oh, but I do want to say that there is a Lighthouse Chapel international branch. There's one that is still that name in Africa. Are you in Africa? Because there are church cults, branches of the church cults that are still called Lighthouse Chapel International. So if you went recently, but it's just that they kept the name for like one branch, but that's what the church used to be called overall. And it used to be yellow and black, and there used to be a little lighthouse. They've changed everything, the symbol, everything. Splitting couples up because one wakes up is crazy work. All right. Ines, can you make sure you repost that for me? Because I want to discuss relationships. Oh, you went to one service at Lighthouse in Nunhead. Oh, that must have been years ago. Was that years ago? That was the branch I was in, girl. And there was something so dark about that service. Yeah. Invites you to co-host. Who's this? Canal the Black Panther. Nah, man. Because I ain't got the energy to be beefing people today, chair. And I don't have the energy to entertain anyone. That's why I'm in my bonnet. I'm ill at the moment, chair. And it's Grenfell anniversary on Saturday. There's just a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Hinduism is the fastest growing religion in Ghana. Really? Wow. I think it's better than being in Dag's cult, though, to be honest. If I had a choice between Hinduism and Dag's cult, Hinduism anytime, any day, chair. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm in London. It was the Mustard Seed or something in Nunhead South. It was last Sunday. Woo! Oh my gosh, you went last Sunday, girl. Oh, girl. Listen, if you feel like going again, can you go and get a recording for me, my love? But once you go there and you feel the energy, you don't want to go back there, man. It's got Do you know what, babe? You see, like up to recently, yeah, like back in the day, I was speaking to an OG member, yeah, and basically she was telling me that I've completely disassociated. Yeah, back in the day, you see, it's London Abachi, Mustard Seed Chapel International, yeah. It was like the stone of ages. It was so archaic. Like Bishop Richard used to come in. I'm going to answer your question. Please repin it for me. Bishop Richard used to come in like every Tuesday. We used to have these Tuesday services. He used to come in and rebuke everybody, boy. Like he'd be telling them like they're stiff, they're not taking they're disobedient, disloyal. He'd be going in, child. He'd be going in, just breaking down the members. And they were like an army. Because you know what happened? With London Apache, like when it started, like back in the 80s, and then Richard was sent on missions to London. So it was like the 90s. And because they were so strict back in the day, guys, I don't think you understand. We were all like there were 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, all of this. And they were telling them to like wear suits. Do you know what I'm saying? Like to wear suits to come on a Tuesday, like, you know, or you need to come like presentable, like you're going to work, like you need to be presentably dressed. That's why when I see Bishop Richard in like a Hugo Boss hoodie, and I'm seeing like there's like guys in trackies in the church cult and they're all filming them and being fake, and I'm just thinking, raw, you used to call up Bishop Richard used to call up Mandem. There would actually, let me check. There's no Mandem in Lighthouse Chapel International chair. He used to call up the guys that were attending the church cult and be like, oh, yeah, Selak is in a suit. How did you used to dress? And they'll be like, give him a mic, give him a mic. Oh, I used to come in my tracksuit and used to wear low. Used to wear low, isn't it? You know, like these are the kind of things that they used to do. And now I'm seeing like they're just welcoming, you know, all these guys with open arms. But do you know what? That's why people are speaking out now. Because it's like, no, babe. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you need to keep the same rules. You can't change up the rules. Do you know what I mean? Them rules still need to stand like that. Like Dag Mills has been telling us since the beginning of time that worldly music is EVIL. That's why he gets worldly beats and he writes Christian lyrics over them. So he's forbidden people from listening to worldly music in the cult. And then he is there listening to the worldly tunes to get the melody, to get to write lyrics, and his minstrels, his Christian art, gal them in the cult. Yeah, they're listening to the worldly songs to write. Does it make any sense? I remember my ex-husband said, but I was heavily indoctrinated when he said this. He was like, oh, he must be listening to worldly music, Leah, because he's got to like, do you know what I mean? Like listen to the songs and be writing the lyrics. He's like, oh, wouldn't you get like feelings, and how would you like control that? And I was like, oh, no. I was like, oh no, Bishop is I don't even know what I said. All right. It's just the MESS, guys, because I'm still so traumatized. And the cult is so big. It's hard for me to like really. It's just gonna be a MESS because that's what the cult is. Like no one gets it. No one knows what's going on in there. Do you know what I mean? And there's a lot of stuff going on with that with my church cult at the moment, chair. Guys, it is going down. All right, let's go back to YouTube. Then I'm gonna go back to this question because I wanna really answer this. User 012, are you still here? Because I'm gonna answer your question. They made us fill out three forms of our details: full name, postcode, address. It was so crazy and forced us to a new believers Bible study. I was so confused. All right, so give me 2 minutes. Dag looks like someone who was in Love and Hip Hop years ago. Oh, Richie Dollar. Is it Richie Dollar? Richie from the Creep Squad. Oh my gosh, that took me out, chair, because I can actually see the resemblance, chair. All right. Queen Ines, can you pin that comment for me, please, babe? Are you okay? You good? Beef blocked. Yes, girl. People getting blocked in these streets, yeah. We don't have it here, baby. We don't do up that. We don't do up because we're not begging for people to be on the live. We've got a community, babe. Do you know what I mean? When our survivors come on, our survivors come on, baby. Anyone else who wants to come, everyone is welcome, but we're not thirsty. All right. So let's go on to there's a really good question that was asked here. Or not even question. I think just telling us what they do up. Splitting couples up because one wakes up is crazy work. So one thing, do you know what? There's so much to unpack here. Just seems like one sentence and a quarter, but there is so much to unpack. With the couple thing, yeah, like I said to you in NGRM, that woman that had been, you know what, before she came into the cult and then took the perpetrator to court and won the case, yeah. They hooked her up, they set her up with a high-ranking member in the cult. But when her mental health started to exasperate, because she didn't need a man, she needed therapy, she needed psychotherapy support, she needed prayer, she needed counsel, like good counsel. And also, I think a part of the church's responsibility is to work. They need to work in a network, like how all of the other organizations are held accountable for safeguarding young people, doing up like working in a systematic way, which means working in partnership, collaborative working, being part of the external systems and functions, because they lie to us in the church. They tell us, oh, it's a spiritual institution. Da, da, da. No, you have to go against the community, the charity commission, the company's house guidelines. That's what you need. Because if you go on there and you read what's expected, guys, if we were to write letters and contact the charity commission, and that's the next step for us, I think, for everybody to write to the charity commission about their cult. That's what I think we should be doing up, to alert them to what's going on in there, because they are not a spiritual institution. They are very much a religious organization and they need to be held accountable. Do you get what I'm saying? So they can do all of these, the spectacle. I see that fake evangelist Daniel Shand doing up prayers in parliament or whatever it is. What you need to understand is there are 1 billion Christians worldwide. We can't be looking at these spectacles and the circus that they put on. If they really cared about helping people, look how many people were there. Why don't you go and feed the homeless? Why don't you not go and help the young people? Why don't you go and adopt some kids instead of praying in mind-altered states and giving the pastor £200 to open your womb? Why don't you go and adopt? Do you know how many kids need to be adopted and in loving homes? Instead, you're there waiting on God for a miracle. Faith without works is unalived. Do you know what I mean? They just like to be seen. Like Daniel Chand put on that display because he wanted to show there's strength in Christian, but there's no strength, babe, because you're 1 billion strong. You can call out anything. If anyone says it's Christian, they're going to get people there. It's the biggest religion in the world, babe. What we need to concentrate on is the people that are leaving, the people that are deconstructing, and the fact that in the first time in thousands of years, people are raising up, they're speaking their truth, because silence is compliance. The government is starting to take notice. In I can't remember what borough, but it's somewhere like near Bedfordshire. They've started to ban street preaching and banning the tracts, the leaflets that they give out. Because to be honest, I think it's very aggressive. I think they scream and shout through megaphones. Do you know what I mean? They're telling people they're going to HEL out. Like nobody's listening anyway. Do you know what I mean? And no one wants to hear it, to be honest. So I think there's a way of doing things. And I don't think that, they're not getting any permits to be outside. I remember, when we used to go and do our outreach, like my pastor gave me this task of going and getting somewhere for us to do outside outreach. Oh, is it Leicester Alpha Male? Welcome, King. Oh, let me make you a mod. So he told me to go and find somewhere, yeah. So now I'm like contacting the council. I'm trying to get a place for us to go. Like these things take time. So say like it was like a week. He needed us to do it in a week, yeah. Well, me to do it in a week. And I'm like, rah, you get me, like all of this paperwork and whatever, this is going to take weeks. So I had to just find somewhere that was like kind of like not going to be bait, where we weren't going to get complaints and whatever, and where we could do the outreach. So do you see how we're not even getting permission, and we're coming with our big speakers? We're coming with, like things to give people out on the street. I think were we doing drinks? I can't even remember what we were doing there, Chair. Guys, I'll never forget this. Out of all of the outreaches that we did, yeah, we were singing, we were like doing, with the mic doing the most. There was a woman, she started screaming out of her window, "Can you please stop? Can you please move away?" Because it was like, in New Cross, there's that square and then there's that post office and then there's houses above it. We were in that square bit. And she was like, "Can you please move away from my window? I've just had a newborn baby. I'm trying to sleep. My baby's trying to sleep." She was like crying. And then we were like, yeah, we're going. But it's like they don't have consideration for neighbors. You see, when there's a church cult in a residential area, like everyone will be parking on the road, like there'll be conflict. Because remember, because they've got us versus them, and they've got like no respect, no consideration, no empathy, no compassion, people are just doing whatever the hell they want. I remember when I drove past RPF the other day, yeah, and if you saw the way the cars were parked, like big, huge Range Rovers, like on double yellow lines on the corner, the curb, the cars sticking out. I'm just thinking, raw. Like, there's just no, because like if I was a neighbor and I lived there, I would be complaining to the council. Do you know what I'm saying? And I can bet my bottom dollar that there is conflict. So do you see how these type of conflicts arise? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because we're not thinking. We had to get permission to find a space, and because it was done in such short notice, we didn't have permission. So if we didn't have permission, what they should have been doing up is just not done it, or waited until we had the appropriate say so to be able to do up what we were doing up. That's just what it is. And so do you see that it's disrupting other people? And we don't know, that woman could have had postnatal depression. A lot of women get that after, how it is when you have a newborn baby and then you've got a bit like this big, like the music is just blaring out and you haven't slept all night. I can't there's someone on YouTube that's asked, what did Dag think of, the original, the chosen people in the Bible, what Christ was originally. So you guys should know what that is. Dag worships them in there and says, they're the real chosen people. That group of people. And also, ooh, all right, girl, if you end up going, can you reach out to me on Insta? Because TikTok just gets on top. I've got so many people I need to respond to. So if you message me on Insta, and then we can thing it. Do you know what I'd like you to get for me, babe? Particularly, video recording of the toilets, and then if they take you to the pastor's office, ask to meet the pastor. If they take you to the pastor's office as well, if you can get a sly little thing, but you might not be able to get a video. You might only be able to get like a recording, like an audio recording. But anyway, just try and get what you can, babe. That would be absolutely fantastic. I'll do it in private. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, so just message me on Insta, my love. Yeah. Woo! Ooh, look at Queen Innes chair. Yes, girl. Intuition strong. Wow. Yes, you're right. So just message me up, girl, if you're on that. All right, let's get back to the marriages. Is that guy still here? I hope you're still here. All right, so yeah. So basically, because they want you to get married inside of the church cult, because basically there's like a gender inequality and hierarchical structure, yeah, where the husband is like the head. But in the cult, they want to have the most control and they want to be able to control the marriages, because remember, the husband influences the wife, and that role of the husband is actually supposed to be above the pastor. So the reason they want them to marry is because like even in the marriage, if they're both in the cult and both worshiping and idolizing the cult leader, that it's always going to be the cult leader. So how it's supposed to be God, the wife, and the husband. It's not. It's the cult leader, the husband, and the wife. That's why when these people leave these church cults, oh, thank you, Spirit of Truth, 1111. That's why when people leave these church cults, it's like their marriages just fall apart because they don't have access to the pastor. Do you get what I'm saying? To go and run to, like, that's their God. And also what I want to say is that's why a lot of marriages were not working during the pandemic. And I know that because my pastors were telling me, Chair. All right. My pastor's wife was telling me that the marriages are falling apart. So when the pandemic came, because remember, they don't spend time with each other. A lot of the pastors, like if one's a lady pastor and one's a pastor, they'll be sending the lady, say like they live in Uxbridge, they'll live in Uxbridge, and then the lady pastor will have a church cult in, let's say, Streatham, and then the husband will have a church cult in, let's say, East London, somewhere Stratford. So and remember, they're living in the church, you know, because you have to give a lot of time, inordinate amounts of time. Last time it was 111. Oh yeah, you're right, Spirit of Truth. I'll look it up. Thank you, my love. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, my darling. I appreciate you. So essentially what they're trying to do is get people to get married that are both severely and heavily indoctrinated, because then those people, it will be easier to get them to be established in the church cult. Because what you'll notice, that's why, girl, they were putting you in that new believers school, because it's a system. You come in, first timers, you have the first impressions, or the hospitality team that's going to be with you. They'll give you a little drink and cake or whatever it is. I don't know what they're doing up in there. Usually they'll take you to meet the pastor, but they'll want to get you in that new believer school because they get points. They have to fill out data and give like a record to their pastor, like how many of your people are in new believer school? How many of your people did you invite? How many of your people came back? Because it's all about targets and statistics and spreadsheets in their chair. Some people who are in there will have like spreadsheets on their wall of people they have to follow up in that. No, they don't get commission for converts, but what they do promise them is invisible blessings and wealth. Because you know the mega church is wild, chair. So they promise them mansions in heaven. Dad used to tell us that every time we go out and we win a soul, it's like another brick. It could be, because they talking like it could be that's another brick in your mansion in heaven. So when we're out there, we're thinking the more souls we get, the bigger our mansion's going to be in heaven. Oh my God. When I tell you, it's just human fecal matter, chair. I tell you one thing, I don't know where these fake men of God are going to go, but there's a special place preserved for them. I'm telling you now. Because the way I feel inside, I'm like, if I feel like this, how must God feel like this? Anyway, you lot just wait and see. The vengeance of the Lord is upon them. You lot need to be thinking, and if you don't believe in God, you know, this is what I have to do to keep my sanity. If you think about the old school type of God, you know, like Moses, like let my people go, Israelites, you know, when they had to be putting across there, and it's like God gave the instructions. So if you didn't mark the top of your doorpost, unfortunately, it was just going to end up in the youth being deleted. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's a certain, because you need to think with what's happened to all of us as a collective and what's happening with the church. It's like when it gets to extreme things like that, like there's a side of God that doesn't ramp in it. So when they do, that's why all that light and love and, you know, God, and there is definitely two sides of God, because I have that, the yin and the yang, and we're made in God's image. So that's why when they're like sin, it's natural. It's a natural part of us to have the darkness and the light within. But you have to work through that trauma so that you make sure that you're not projecting onto others. You're not taking it out on others. You're not coming from an ego place. You won't steal from others. You won't, do you know what I mean? Like that's where it comes from. Identifying it and knowing you've got, because if you're a thief, you need to be honest and say, rah, I'm a thief, and know that you're a thief. There is that darkness that is within you. But how can you channel that into something else? How can you, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, how can you heal from that? Maybe it's because your mum was a thief or your dad was a thief. So you've learned that as a child. You need to go back and heal and do what, do you know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about, man. Because for me personally, you know where I said to you, I'm a survivor of CCE, child criminal exploitation, affiliations with gangs, etc. That side of me, I needed to have that. I needed the resilience. I needed to be in the hood. I needed to have experienced everything. I needed to see the shell of my boyfriend that was unalived in police custody at 19 years old. I needed to see that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I needed to live this. I needed to lose people so that I'm desensitized to a certain, like, I don't have fear. When you're from the hood, you're not scared of anyone, baby boy. You're not scared. We're not scared. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this type of resilience and this type of like I don't give a like untouchable type of vibe. Like that's how we are. That's how we're built. We have to be built like that. We have to be built like that. We don't have a choice. We have to like all I know is how to survive. That's all I know. That's all I know. So this situation that I found myself in, like other people might have just completely just broken down and just ended up, do you get what I'm trying to say, getting sectioned, whatever, this, that, and the third. But all I know how to do is survive. Do you get what I'm saying? All right, so I'm gonna get back onto this marriage thing, but I'm just saying, so but the thing is, that type of way in me, I need to be able to calm it down. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I've got kids, I can't be getting arrested and having certain reactions on the street and da da da. But so what I'm saying is there's the darkness and the lightness in me, and that part is good and it needs to come out, because you lot have seen how my heart is. If I was like that all the time, I'd be getting taken advantage of left, right, and center. We are survivors, yes, we are. So there needs to be that balance, and that side will come out, but I need to know how to control it and have that temperance. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because that scripture that says, he who controls his spirit is more mighty than is it a kingdom or a city? I'm not quoting it exactly, but it's something like that. So the ability to have self-control. And that's why when that guy wanted to have my name in his mouth, talking about, oh, people who don't want to go to church, you need to go to church, you just don't want to go back to church. Babe, you're morbidly obese. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you can't control what goes in your mouth. Do you understand? You have no self-control. That scripture tells me that he who has self-control is more mighty than a city. So my logical thinking is, you're here trying to teach me and tell me, oh, I should be going to, but you have no self-control. Do you understand what I'm saying? Ines, do you think I need to restart? You have no self-control. So how are you? So I'm not listening to what you say, because you don't know how to talk the talk, but you don't know how to walk the walk. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when I see you having some type of self-control, then I will start listening to you, because I'm going with the scriptures. You get me, Charlene? Charisma. That's what I'm doing up. I just want anyone who's got my name in my name in your mouth, just be prepared in it for what I'm gonna clap back with. That's all I'm gonna say, because you lot live in self-sealing systems. Your pastor's lying to you, you're lying to your pastor. Everybody in there is acting. So when they come out, yeah, they are, my love. When you come out of that self-sealing system and you're in the world, you're gonna get told the truth. That's why they don't like TikTok. These type of high control environments, they don't like TikTok, because TikTok's like all about free speech. There's someone on, do you know what? I've got some new people in YouTube, because I've had a couple people on YouTube still. So let me show you lot. Is Ines on here? Guys, do you think I need to restart the TikTok? Look, guys, this was me before Jer. Can you lot see it? Look at me in that floral dress. It's on the opposite side. Look. You lot, they did me so dirty, man. Guys, I'm going to restart the live on TikTok, yeah? Just come back on. If I've got a tutorial, I'll be going on another account, okay? I need to... Oh, ooh! 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 Yeah, I didn't get any tutorials, Jer. Okay. You lost the solid. With all that sorry shit. And that sorry dick. Damn. And all them alibis. All right, let me go to some of the YouTube questions, Cher. The pastor was basically forcing me and my friend to speak in tongues. Bear in mind, it was our first time ever going. She kept going, come on, you can do it. Just say anything, even if it's gibberish. Oh my God. Can I ask how old you are, babe? Is that your real name as well? Because if that's your real name, they do watch. So I'd say maybe be careful about going back. Can I ask how old you are? Are you still here? Was your former cult associated to any political parties? Yeah, I think it's NDC. The political party that's in power at the moment in Ghana, the most current president. That's the one, and he's also got Rowlands, Jay Rowlands, the Ghanaian president that took over, and there was like a big a lot of unalivements. Oh, okay, so you're quite young. All right, yeah, Oh my gosh, guys, there's someone on YouTube, yeah, that's basically saying she went to London Patriarchy. It was her first time, and they were getting her to go to New Believer School and speak in tongues for the first time, and telling her to do up. speaking gibberish, just say something, even whatever comes out. Oh my God, it's just a mess. So do you see what, so you can understand that, that's what I'm saying. Like when most people are speaking tongues in the church courtyard, they're not, it's not even real tongues. It's just gibberish because that's what they want. Because girl, we get asked all these questions. Honestly, we get asked all these questions and it's like, oh, because look, listen, you've got the main, is the guy here who asked about the marriages. You've got the main service that like everyone will come to. That's why we're trying to recruit people to come, this, that, and the third. And then we have all of these meetings, just mindless, irrelevant meetings, yeah. And when they have these shepherds meetings, like behind the scenes, they'll be like, "How many people have you outreach to?" And you come. How many people can say that they are still in church today because of you? How many people? How many people? How many people can say? How many people can say that they are in church now because of you? How many people can say that their lives have changed because of you? And they'll be like going in. It's like breaking you down. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, just this pressure to just always get these people. Do you know what I mean? And guys, it's recruitment. Do you know what it's like? Yeah, doing this outreach outside. Yeah, it's like, you know, them people who do them, they're on the street and they're trying to get you to like give to charity or sign up to, you know, and you're just even trying to avoid them. And a lot of the time, you know, when you're in a bad mood, you're just like, listen, not today. You know, they just get like ABUSE. They're just, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing with the outreach because of the approach that they use. People just want to keep it stepping and walking. But the thing is, it's quite fascinating to see that you just see the EVIL that comes out in them when you're not engaging. Like, I was in East London and UCKG were doing an outreach, but thank God I didn't clock it was them, boy. I would have started getting out my camera and recording them, Jer. Because I got a lot of UCKG survivors. UCKG is like in my top 5 church cults of like collectives of survivors that I have. I've got a lot. So after now, when I got to the pub to meet the survivor, she's telling me like that's UCKG. But when I come out of the car park now and I seen the woman, she's like giving out the tracts. I said, no, I don't want it. Something said to me, turn around. You should have seen the woman, the look on her face. She was saying something under her breath. I said, listen, I'm not the one. Because I said, whatever you just said under your breath, I return it to sender. I'm not the one. Because I don't see in the physical realm. Like I believe I can see beyond that, and we should all be able to do that. Do you know, no one's special. We should all be able to do that. We all have senses. Do you get what I'm saying? Like the smell, the sight, but then we have our spiritual senses as well. That's our birthright. But you see now, if I was being manipulative, what I would have done there is I would have gone into mystical manipulation, and I would have said to you something like, but I can see, you know, like beyond, like in the spirit realm, like God has taken like the layer off my eyes to see in a way that no other has seen before. And God, because guys, if I was to tell you the things that I do up in private, you'd be like, whoa. Do you understand what I'm saying? But it's not about that. Because like as we read the verse, whatever we read yesterday, you know, about going in private, like when you pray and anointing your head in oil, it's not supposed to be something you announce. Raw. 132 people on the FYP. There's bare people on the FYP chair. You know, but anyway, let me get back to the arranged marriages because I think that was a good Dag should be doing something about a certain group in his country. Soon Ghana will be Buddhist. I'd rather be a Buddhist than be in Dag's cult. I'd much prefer to be a Buddhist because then at least my mental health would be all right because I'd be able to ground and meditate. You know, there's certain accounts, I don't know what scrolls it's from or whatever, that say that Jesus Christ actually traveled to Asia. And that's where he learnt meditation, apparently. There's another scroll. I just thought I'd put it out there because, you know, this is a live of exploration. Dag is a cult leader, babe. So Dag can't do anything about the Buddhism in Ghana. He doesn't have that power, unfortunately. He has a cult and he's used dark psychology and manipulation. He's a Machiavellian. So you know, he user 398. Were you the one who asked the question about the marriage? So it's actually safer for people to be in a Buddhist temple than it is being in Dagu with Mills Cots, because women are getting essayed and raped in there. Do you know what I'm saying? And in Ghana, it's rife, chair. The stories that I've heard in Ghana is absolutely correct. Like girls sleeping with guys in their uni to get them to come to the church cult. You know what I mean? There's a lot that they're doing up in there. A lot of the pastors are preds as well. And my concern is that a lot of these pastors get transferred to Ghana. So it's like they can be close to the cult leader, so they'll behave. Are you sure? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, so for me, I don't think there's anything that Dag could do. Dag's got enough on his plate in that cult at the moment. Do you know what I'm saying? He's got enough on his plate, yeah. He needs to concentrate on what's going on in there because he's working his people too hard. He needs to give people a break. That's what he needs to do up, you know, them ones. Because that's what I'm saying, it's modern day labor in there. That's why I've got these health issues. Guys, if anything happens to me, yeah, with my health, anything like that, guys, do it up, man. In my memory. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, make sure we get justice, man. Because this is what happens. If anything happens to me, whenever I unalive, it's the cult. Because I've got all these health issues. I was fine when I came into the cult. I didn't have all of these things. It's the pressure. They rinse you out. They rinse you dry. OMG, my son. And guys, I don't mean that in a violent way, because I don't endorse physical or violence. I mean in terms of the activism in speaking our truth. Do you get what I'm saying? And getting that message out there. Do you see what I mean? And in raising that, that's what I'm talking about. Because, you know, they like to report your girl and try and say that I'm inciting you know what, because they want to silence me. Especially these Nepo babies. They're so entitled. No, not the UK Dag. There's a guy called Bishop Daniel, Apostle Daniel. I think they made him a bishop the other day. He was essaying the gal them in his church cult, and he got transferred to Ghana when the girl came out. There's a YouTube video. There's a video of it on YouTube, my love. There's a few of them that have been transferred, and then they don't have the systems that we have here in the UK. Yes, Joker. I love that energy. So and mainly the reason why that's happened is because there's a misogynistic and patriarchal rhetoric, and it's the indoctrination. Because guys, I'm ill and tired, so I'm gonna wrap it up soon. But they're misogynistic and patriarchal environments. So the rhetoric that my cult leader has said is that anything that happens between a man and a woman is automatically the woman's fault, because she has the power to say no, and she has the power to open and close her legs. So they put all of the accountability on the woman. Remember I said to you, cult's way of thinking is very black and white, so they don't see the gray area. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't go into what consent is, what non-consensual, you know what is. And then so what's happening is there's been a lot of girls, if a female is having an intimate relationship with a pastor, that can't be consensual because of the dynamic of the position of power, trusted position. That woman would not have had access to her pastor. She wouldn't have gone and trusted him to sit in the office, to speak to him, this, that, and the third, if he didn't have that position. So it doesn't matter if the woman comes onto the man, because they have got very vulnerable young women in here. They've got women who were literally like OFs workers. Do you understand? Schmegs workers. Do you know what I'm saying? They're coming straight from that into the church. Do you know what I'm saying? Girls with hyper eggshellized past are coming straight from that into the church. Girls who have a history of being great, I say they're coming from straight in. Do you understand what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, it's not like a normal situation. This is why there needs to be like a political piece. That's why the social justice activism is here as well, because there's that element which is exactly the same as a doctor. If a doctor was to, you know, get caught doing something with their patient, once they're assessing them, or they're going to get arrested. Not the girl won't get arrested. Same with a teacher and student. It's the same dynamic, pastor, congregant member. And they are vulnerable, and they come in there for miracles and healings. And when you're in there, you're getting indoctrinated. So that beckoneth the question, do people have the mental capacity at the time to be able to make a decision? Because there's a lot of, and guys, you know, I'll be doing, there'll be stuff in my book. I'm doing a systematic review that I hope, you know, I'll be able to get out there, that, you know, local government can explore, because there are a lot of different complexities. And you know, when it comes to cults, guys, it's a human phenomenon. And the study of human behavior is the study of human phenomenon. So I have a first class degree in youth and community work and specialist areas around gangs, and a master's distinction in social work, with specialisms around grief, bereavement and trauma, and looking at how that is correlated to gangs. So I have been studying human behavior and the phenomenon surrounding that. So this is why I'm able to use my professional and educative experience to unpack this, yeah, and unmask it, because really we do need to take the mist off. We need to demystify the tactics and the characteristics that they're doing up in these settings, so that we can make sense of and understand and process what we went through. Thanks for the follow, Amina. I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh yeah. So so in a nutshell, it's a patriarchal and misogynistic environment. There was a woman that got raped by a high-ranking pastor, and when she went to report it to Bishop Richard, he said that when a man of God has a moment of weakness, you can be like a wall, impermeable, you can't get through, or you can be like a or you can be what is it? You could be like a wall, impermeable, you can't get through, or is it a door, permeable, that you can get in and out of? And then he said that your legs are like a door, you can open and choose to open and close them. So it's just very disturbing. You know, they demonize women in there. They don't. There's no because they have the gender inequality. This is where the danger comes into it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because women are getting essayed, they're getting raped, they're getting taken advantage of in these settings, and they're not seeing it as such, because they've got their own laws and rules, and they've got a misogynistic and let me check my thing, guys. No. They've got a misogynistic and patriarchal rhetoric in their chair. So they're never on the woman's side. The woman is a second class citizen and she has no rights. Imagine they tried to tell me that I was not allowed to use certain terminologies I learned in my social work degree. If I was to say trauma bond, they would say, no, it's a familiar spirit. Lucia, we were supposed to talk, innit? Did you WhatsApp me? I can't even go on my phone. Lucia, did you WhatsApp me? Did I send you my number? Oh my God, that's absolutely disgusting. No, I'm not even gonna lie, guys. That is absolute. Do you know? Did you see? I just disassociated. How can they tell you that a trauma bond is a familiar spirit? What the hell is that? That is so deep. Babe, you can't say the church cult, can you? Are you wanting to tell me privately? That is harmful. I'd go as far as to say that's harmful practices, that is. So everything I learned in my social work degree was slowly being undone. Oh yeah, because it's like what you learn in there. Because shortly after my social work degree, I just left because it helped to deconstruct me. So I can see what you're saying. So that's why you get these cult members in like nursing positions, they're doctors, they're therapists, they're social workers, but they just have no empathy, because they're not, because you got to understand, these cult leaders are seen as like gods, like prophets. So what they're saying, they're believing they're the mouthpiece of God. That's what a prophet is. A mouthpiece of God, speaks on behalf of God. That's why they do anything that they say. And the thing is, guys, you know, trauma bonds, it's really important to understand like what a trauma bond is, so that you can like break free. Do you get what I'm saying? Of certain attachments, it can help you identify like toxic, unhealthy patterns of behavior, to help you get out of the repeating cycles of self-destructive behavior. It's really, really important. Like finding out about about trauma bonds it really helped me to see that, to validate the way that I was feeling. Like I'm not going crazy, but this is a natural trauma response to having this very unhealthy attachment that I've formed with this pastor, because there's been no boundaries. They've, the whole, that's the part of the witchcraft that they use as well, is to get you to form those trauma bond relationships and codependence. That's why when you go in there, they'll be asking you a million questions, wanting you to talk all your business. They want to know how many people you slept with, like both intrusive, like very intrusive questions. And what kind of family you go through, your background, your past, what you studied. It feels like an interrogation interview. I never knew that SA was going on. I only saw them as grifters and thieves when I left. That's like me as well, Joker. That's why I go so hard. I go in because I don't like that. I think that's absolutely taking the PISS. Like if it was just the money or the whatever, I think I would have, because I did still speak out I did still speak out at that point before I knew women were getting SA'd and great. Do you understand? But it was when the women started coming forward, that's when I just started going blank, man. I just think something changed in me. Something just, the light just, yeah, I don't know. Because the whole reason why I stayed so long is because I didn't think that was going on. I thought that, yeah, we've got issues. Because another thing that they do up in there to brainwash you from like whistleblowing and being desensitized to ABUSE is the church is not perfect. It's not made of perfect people. If you hear this come out of someone's mouth, they're severely indoctrinated and do not attend their church. The church is like a spiritual hospital. Run. If you hear the church is like a spiritual hospital, it's like A&E, the pastor's not perfect, this, that, run a million miles. Guys, I've got to do my nails, man, but I've been so unwell. I can't sit in the nail shop for almost 2 hours. They wanted to know all my business from my childhood. Look at that. Do you know why? Yeah, because they want to see like if you're vulnerable. Like you see, if you've got like family members who can't, that's why I say, if you've got like a family member or a friend or a cousin or whatever it is, try and go every now and then. If you're not a survivor and it doesn't trigger you so much, so that they can see that they've got someone else there. Does that make sense, guys? Because they use the information and the knowledge, and they're like tell shepherds as well. Like when I would be in there, they'd be like, oh yeah, this girl, Lucy, she's been coming for 3 weeks. She's got a really, like a really sad past, because they don't use words like trauma. They'll say sad past. These uncles. So they kind of pair people up with like, so I've got the background of like being affiliated with gangs, like being having mental health, just like all of that. They would pair me up with like women who had like severe mental health, and I don't even think that don't even make sense, because I weren't even healed. I was struggling with my mental health, and I'm here like taking on. That's why people get sick as well, because you can't say no, and it's draining. Because you'll have someone there, and you've got to sit there and smile and act like you're listening to them, like just sitting there for hours. Like, Hannah, who comes on, who was my sheep, she talks to me about, like, I used to be on the phone for Leah for hours, and it's not fair. No one has any time for themselves. I totally neglected my ex-husband as well. That's the truth. They wanted to know all my business. All right, so I've done that one. It's so sad. Were you attending Lighthouse in Ladbroke Grove at one point? Yes, girl. That's where I'm from, Grove. Who's this? Hey, girl. So you remember me? Do you remember Jasmine? Oh my God. Yeah, I started off in North K I remember you. I was really young. Ooh! Was I singing? Was I doing up praise and worship? Oh my God. Hi, girl. Yeah, I started off that was my first Pastor Edmund in North K. And that's where I left the X Factor to be in that church cult and dedicated myself. We sung Praise Looks Good on You. You were in the choir. Was that the Chris Bird? Oh my God, that's a blast from the past, chair. How long was you in there for? That's so crazy. And then, guys, can you see that this is come on, this random girl's FYP? Yeah, I was being initiated small. Ooh, all right, message me, girl, if you want me to get your account, because look how it's popped up on the FYP. They tried to Layla, you know, they tried to like not claim me. Like they tried to say that I was just a DRUGGIE and I was a mad woman. Like I'm lying, I'm this, I'm that. Look, there's like random people coming on and saying that they recognize me. Or did you go to a church in Grove? But they were trying to say that I was never like that in the cult. What? Are you having a laugh? No, you definitely was there singing, yeah. Oh my God, you're so funny. I was the lead singer. Thanks, babe. How old were you? I bet you were like 13 or 14. They're lying because I'm exposing them up, girl. I'm saying I was in this cult for 18 years. And I'm exposing everything that goes on behind the scenes, all of the dodgy pastors, like this, that, and the third. Oh, wow. Oh my God. All right. All right, you lot. I think I'm going to start winding down. So reach out if you want to, girl. Has anyone got any last questions before I go? I was going to start winding down because I want to try and come back on a bit late and I need to rest. And I just want to say, like, there's some survivors that are really taking care of me since I've been unwell, man. Like, seriously, I just love everybody. People have been sending me some nice recipes. And you know what I love as well? Like, I'm really close to an OG survivor, a certain OG survivor. And it's like, for me, there's been so much sadness and so much sorry. So guys, please, yeah, we're having a survivor link up on the 20th. I don't know if my questions are sending. Yeah, we got the thing on this is high. You know, they protect the community. Try and put it again. We've got a survivor link up coming on the 20th. We're trying to do it outside, but I'm going to have a backup. Oh, actually, we might as well just do it in that Weatherspoons because there's actually a park that we could go to down the road if it's nice and sunny. But that Weatherspoons have a marquee part outside. So it's got a big canopy outside and it's got all like little lights on it. Oh, guys, it's so nice. It's so lovely. So I'm thinking on the 20th, it's the Fox. It's in Denmark Hill. So I'm thinking we can do that one on the 20th. But if the weather's nice, then I'll probably say like a little park, like maybe Burgess Park, or you get me, like a park that's local. Yeah. So we'll do up that. So that's the 20th of, what month are we in? Are we in June? The 20th of, is the 20th a Sunday? It's 20th a Sunday, guys. Yeah, if you're not working, come out. Survivors, come out, man, because we're all we've got. We're all we've got, man. And it would be nice to like meet people in person and strengthen each other, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Do you know why I like Weatherspoons? Because it doesn't remind me of the cult. Because, you know, I would have been meeting like people in like Nando's or, you know, like other places, but everything's triggering for people, you know, because in my cult, especially, it was like drink was forbidden. So we definitely weren't going. I love Weatherspoons. Weatherspoons is cheap and cheerful, chair. Does anyone go to their curry club on Thursdays? Oh, it's a Friday. Oh, okay. Thanks, babe. So it will be the 21st. But even if you just used to go to a cult or whatever, but you've had an experience and you want to come, you're more than welcome. Do you know what I mean? Because if it's nice weather, we're going to do party in the park vibes. I'm telling everyone to bring disposable barbecues. I'm going to get a park that we can do up disposable barbecue. We're going to have like a little speaker, like, you know, like vibes, like some music. We're saying bring a little bottle. You get me? So, and we're going to be doing up like chicken, you get me, like jerk chicken on the little barbecue and whatnot, you get me. But what I would say is, if you're doing up chicken, I would say maybe grill it or oven it a little bit before coming, you know, like in the morning, so it's a bit cooked. So when we put it on the barbie, it's just gonna like give it that barbie smoky feel. Do you get what I'm saying? Could you explain how they break spiritual codes? Ooh, I don't know what you mean by that. Break that down a little bit for me, because if that's a known thing out there, I don't really get into like known concepts. I go within. So do you get what I'm saying? Like, you might call it spiritual codes, but I might call it something else. Does that make sense? Or is it a known term? Because if it's a known thing, then I don't know about spiritual codes. You're going to have to educate me, my love, because I don't have a clue. Is it like I don't, what is it? Breaking the law? The spiritual law? Is that what you mean? I don't know. That question's thrown me, chair. But I like it when someone answers something and it makes me think. So, and another thing I want to say why it's good to come to the Survivor link ups, guys, because I can say things that I can't say on here. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm really going to encourage people to come, because I know before I didn't really want to encourage people and talk about it too much because it could be triggering, like the church. But I do think at this point, like it's been over a year, we need to start like, like coming out physically so that we can start to talk about, because they can hear us on the internet. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the thing is, guys, if I get a weird vibe about someone or whatever, I'm going to tell you to your face. I don't care. I'm not a guru. I'm no one's pastor or teacher. I'm not fake. If I get a vibe and I'm feeling that robotic, I'm feeling that that church cult type of vibe, I will be telling. I will be like, I will say it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I don't hold back at all. And it's so easy to detect them as well, because they what they don't realize is there's no soul in their eyes. That's how we know that they're not, because they're not like real people, and they can't fool us because we've been there. We can see straight through them. It's like when you go through them, it's like it's like glass. They're just there's nothing there. The lights are on. No one's home, chair. And they also don't know how to have normal conversations and talk about popular culture, because we're not in there sitting down and talking about our strategies and all that. That's not what we do. We do that in a working group setting. This one, we're just vibes in. Do you know what I mean? And then we're kind of we do go into certain things and ideas that we have, but mainly they won't be able to fit into an environment like this because they're used to high control environments. Do you get it? Oh, thingy, there's someone on YouTube that said good beer. Oh, is it? Yeah, no, I do like their wine. And it's like £2. You know what I mean? Like, you can get a large for like frequent. Like, I can go in there and get my curry. Do you know what I'm saying? Get a nice glass of wine, whatever I'm spent. I can go in there and get 2 glasses of medium wine and a curry, and that's like under 15 quid. And guys, I'm not gonna lie, they do a really nice Indian curry in there, a korma and another a tikka masala share. And they do a nice little naan bread. It's got like a garlic. Oh, it is. Ooh, chair. And if you can just go and take your little hot sauce or whatever and just put it on that, and that will slap. Because to be honest, I don't really like the hot sauce because I am hot sauce. But when I put a little salt and pepper on it, it's just. And you get poppadoms as well, so you get like 2 poppadoms. It's really nice. Look at me plugging Weatherspoons. Cheap and cheerful. All right. And another reason why I like that spot is because like all survivors will be able to, manage, like, because there are wraps in there. You can get a meal for like 7 quid. So I do think about that. I think about Apostle Joe, miracle saved. Welcome, Apostle. Well done. Where are you? Where are you calling in from? Guys, I want to welcome Apostle Joe, miracle saved. He is on YouTube. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Thank you for being here. I also want to give. Are you giving us greetings from Ghana? From Bishop Dag. I don't think you should be on here, Apostle Joe Miracle. I think you got things to focus on in your church cult at the moment. You lot have got a lot of things to prepare for. Yeah. All right. So I think you need to focus on what's going on in your church cult instead of coming on here talking up human fecal matter, because the nonsense ain't gonna stop. It ain't gonna stop until the day I'm unalive. I'm gonna keep on talking. I'm gonna be shouting from the mountain tops, and I'm gonna be talking, and people are listening. I've got quite the following at this point. So Minakir. And actually, in the sound doctrinal faith, you're a fake apostle, because they believe in a theology called cessationism. They believe that after Paul there was no apostle, that he was the apostle that they were going to build the church on. So you're just fake. Your titles mean nothing, babe. If you was to leave that cult tomorrow, you ain't no one on the outside chair. But you're coming in here tractor because you think you've got apostle that you meet. You don't mean nothing, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like these dusty man them. Do you know? They just come with, anyway, there's no love like Christian, HATE. That's what they are. All right. Can you explain how they break spiritual rules? Okay. Thanks for the follow, Regina. All right. So this is just what my thoughts are from within. What I believe, is that because God's given us free will, based off my experience in the cult, there's no free will. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like you're dictated to. There's even a part in one of Dag Heward-Mill's books about servanthood, and it's like a servant does not ask questions. A servant obeys. A servant obeys instructions without asking questions. A servant follows blindly. Like, he's got a book that's got these exact points labeled in it. So it's like they cut you off from your intuition, from your connection to God. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, they're now indoctrinating you, so you don't have free will. You don't feel like you can say, Pastor, I'm not feeling well today. I can't be at the church. That's why people are unaliving in there. People are dropping like flies in that cult, because what happens is it starts to catch up with you. Your body, your mind, your soul, the pressure that they put on you to be at all these prayer meetings. Some pastors are going all around the country. They're not getting time. There's no time to rest. They don't believe in that. They don't believe that you should rest. They believe that when Christ comes back, that's when you're going to rest. But they believe whilst you are here, this is your time to work and serve the Lord. And that's what makes it so dangerous. So even God gives us free will, yeah. So one of the biggest spiritual like rules that they're breaking is that they take our free will away from us. They take our birthright away from us, which has been a son and daughter of God. Because we're no longer sons and daughters of God, we become sons and daughters of the house. So he's stripping us from our birthrights, and now what's happening is we're becoming slaves, and we're having to work. The physical, you know, my YouTube's gone down to free as I'm talking like this because I'm deconstructing them. They had to get off. You're going in and you're working every hour that God sends to build the empire, but they sell it to you like win the lost at any cost. I'm so glad I went on YouTube today. Win the lost at any cost. You got to win the souls, win the souls, win the souls. So they are putting people in mental slavery. Yeah, you're not being born again, you're being indoctrinated. Because they make being born again like their whole identity. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? So that's why they don't take any accountability for themselves. They're always pointing the finger. And that's why for the first time in thousands of years, the church is facing accountability. They're facing criticism. And they don't have the power that they used to have. They just don't have it. They do not have that power. And now a lot of people are coming forward, the generations, because this is in our epigenetics where they have ABUSED. So much of our families, our grandmothers, our great grandma, we have seen that they have destroyed lives. Our ancestors, do you understand what I'm saying? Our generations that have come before us have just been indoctrinated and fooled for this human fecal matter of we give you money, then you give us invisible blessings in exchange. So one of the things is they take away your free will, they put you in mental slavery. They also siphon the energy of and soul farm the light of young people. This is what a Vidun practitioner told me. That's why they like young people. That's why they like targeting and recruiting young people, because they can siphon. It's like a light, like a youthful light. And when the Vidun practitioner told me that, I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense, because they rinse out the young people. You see them discarding, but as the you'll see, like, so for example, Mother Dayanara, LP Dandan from First Love, like back in the day, she was in groups, she was singing solos, she was doing everything because she was young, she was youthful, she was with the kid. Do you understand? As she's got older, they've given her an episcopal title, because that's what they do when they discard the women that have like given everything. Then they give them this episcopal title, and then they start to be like behind the scenes, and they make them believe that they're promoted, but they're not promoted. It's because they need to give other people other chances to feel like the star, to feel like they could be the TSA, to feel like they're younger, they're fresher. That's why LP Marcella's not in there anymore. There was a woman called LP Marcella, but Bishop Richard changed her name to LP Christiana. So he came in and he was like one day, and he was like, oh, from today, her name's LP Christiana. And this woman used to sing all the time. Then she was in London Apache for a little bit. She went Ghana. She got sick. She told me that from her own mouth. And then when she got transferred to, she was begging Bishop Richard, please, I want to come back to First Love. So he let her come back to First Love. And then when she was in First Love, she was just discarded. She didn't sing again because LP Marcella looked older than me. So she looks like a big, like the young people are seeing her like aunties. So when you're an auntie in there, you need to work behind the scenes. Do you get it? Not like face, front, and ministry. Guys, I'm going to come off TikTok because that's mainly all I wanted to say. And I've got a thing for consuming substances. So I'm on YouTube, Leah Lauder 777, and I'm on Instagram, Leah Lauder 77, if you want to come over there. I'll be back on TikTok later on a different account. Make sure you're following me on Leah Lauder 7, okay? Thanks for listening. Bye. So yeah, so like LP Marcella got discarded. Do you get it? There's a lot of people, like there's so many singers that were up there, like all of their best singers. Where are they now? and people give their lives. Like LP Marcella, she went to freaking Mexico when she was like 19 as a 19-year-old girl. I don't even think she went uni. They all went and sacrificed. LP Natalie, that's married to is it Pastor Clarence, that went to where did she go? Somewhere in a Spanish speaking country, because she does the Spanish speaking flow and whatever. The girl, her parents came down to the church because she was studying in LSE, or she got into uni. She didn't go uni. She went to go to Mexico to be going up and doing that. Like, Dag has ruined so many people's lives, like destroyed so many people's lives. Like, everyone's just washed up in there now. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, all of the older pastors, they're discarded. Like, what is he going to do with them? The only one that's old in there and in some front facing ministry is Dag. All the other people are just puppets. That's all they are, and that's all he does. It's like to take away. It's like it's deflection techniques. Do you understand what I'm saying? He wants to deflect from the fact that he's choosing all of these puppets to be his foot soldiers. And these people, the people that he chooses to be in high ranking positions, they're people who are his bottom bees that will do absolutely anything and everything for him. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Like, they will not say no. Yes, sir. Yes, please. Yes, sir. And that's Dag's problem. Those are the only people that he's got around him. He's got yes, please. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, please. No, sir. Everyone's licking his, you know what? The pastor's heads are so far up his intestines, so far up, they're swimming in his intestines at this point. Everybody does what Dag says. Dag's worshipped in there. Dag's a god. So people are coming on here. Oh yeah, girl, let me make you a mod. Do you know what it was, babe? Add as a moderator. I made you as a mod, babe. Do you know how to block him? He was on here talking human fecal matter, but I thought, oh, let me stay on there because the apostles are the fakest, chair. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't even care, because when I've got the free platforms going on, I don't have time. If they want to talk and come on here and talk human fecal matter, they can do it amongst themselves. I don't care. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to put you... Ooh, thanks, babe. Yeah, so what I need people to understand is I think this is the last red flag I'm going to give before I go. Because this is my last day. I got the kids coming back tomorrow, Jen. So I'm back in mummy mode. And guys, I might not, I will be on live because I'm on live every day, but I might not be on as often this week because I've got to do my hair on Friday evening. Then I've got the Grenfell memorial on Saturday, and then I've got the on Sunday. But you might get a surprise live with my mum on the Sunday. But if we are going to do that live, I will do a video like saying I'm going to, because I want my mum to come on and share just some like self-care, self-love tips, you know, like just some wisdom, because there's quite a lot of survivors who don't really have like good relationships with their mum and stuff. So I want to get actually I might pre-record that content to put on my YouTube. Yeah, I think I will do that with my mum, and I want to put that out. So keep an eye on Sunday, guys. And it's Father's Day as well. And guys, can you imagine, my mum's been like with this guy for like, I don't even know how long it's been now. Maybe is it more? It's more than 18 years, yeah. Maybe like 20 years or something like that. They've been together for like 20 years or something mad. Do you know, like, I've never celebrated this man for Father's Day. Because it was always like we were in the call, you know, with Dag and whatever. So this year, you know, he has been there for me over the years, and I want to like honor him and celebrate him this year. So yeah, but I will be around on lives. All right, guys, does anyone have any questions before I go? I'll be back though. YouTube, I've already been on here looking a mess, so I'll be back. I'm gonna go and make another bagel, and then I will be back on a bit later. I don't know what time, but just keep an eye out. Oh yeah, subscribe. Can you guys subscribe? And I've got other content on my channel as well. So thank you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye guys. Bye Insta. I'm gonna go now.